Hello and welcome to the inside of my motorhome, and today I'm going to try and answer the question of whether or not you should leave the motorhome plugged in to the electricity when you have left it for some period of time. And to give you the quick answer, it's yes and no. So now I'm going to try and explain a little bit. Now, when you plug your motorhome in, and you should plug it in whenever you get the opportunity, but it also has the problem that if you leave it permanently plugged in, for example, you might leave it over winter, or you go away, or it's not in use, or whatever, is that the charging cycle actually stops. And this means to say that you want to keep your batteries fully charged as long as possible, as much as possible, yes. But when it's actually plugged in, the charger, or at least most chargers, do not continue to charge. You don't trickle charge it non-stop. So what you could do is if you've left your motorhome for any reason, unplug it from time to time and then plug it again so that the charging will recommence. Now, this could be a process that takes place every you could do 3 weeks, something like that. Unplug it, then plug it again. You don't have to unplug it for very long. Another way of getting around this one actually is to use a timer. So you could time so the electricity is cut and then comes back on again, or something along those lines. Of course, if you've got solar panels as well, the solar panels will be keeping your habitation battery topped up, but bear in mind that in the winter that might not be sufficient. Now, one thing I think is very important to say, that when you leave the battery for long periods of time without charging, then it can damage it. Now, for example, in my case, I live mainly off-grid. I travel around, I wouldn't say a lot actually, because I find a place I like and I stay there for a long period of time. And so maybe it's a wonder that the battery's working. Some wonder there's any air left in the tyres. Sometimes I can stay there so long. And a little joke there actually. So the thing to do is, whenever you get a chance, do give your batteries a charge. You should leave the charge on for about 12 hours or so. Let's say an overnight charge anyway, at least. The point of this is because it takes a long time to actually charge the batteries. Now, if you leave a battery uncharged for a period of time, there's a rate at which it will lose its charge anyway, and this depends on the temperature. In higher temperatures, they actually lose their charge much quicker. And when they are discharged, sulphate crystals can form on the lead plates, and the capacity and the performance of the battery will decrease when sulphate crystals are formed. And indeed, in time, this can actually stop the battery cell working completely. Now, when you drive, sulphate crystals can actually come loose, and they can collect at the bottom of the battery, and this in turn can cause a short circuit, or it could even cause a fire in the worst cases. So I think that's something worth considering. Now, gel and lithium batteries are not as susceptible to short circuits as lead batteries are. Nonetheless, both lithium and gel batteries will also decrease in time in their efficiency if they are not left charged. Something I think also, as far as lithium, it's worth bearing in mind is that the first generation of lithium batteries, if there's a problem leaving in the vehicle in winter, now particularly if you've got solar cells, they do not like at all to be charged when the temperature is below around +3 or +4, something like that. It's even freezing. If you charge it when it's in this condition, it can permanently damage the battery. And so does this mean to say that, for example, if the battery is inside the vehicle, the vehicle has to be left heated? And I think in this case, now normally I would suggest people don't heat their vehicles when they're not in them, but if they've got lithium batteries, first generation, note, inside the vehicle or somewhere, then you have to keep it above this temperature. Now in the second generation of lithium batteries, which came out around 2019, I think the first ones were approximately, I can't remember exactly, this problem ceased to exist. Now there's still plenty of first generation batteries on the market. You can still buy them, and so they are cheaper. They're about 20-25% cheaper than the second generation ones, but they do have this problem. So therefore I would suggest that people looked at the self-heating batteries. I've actually done videos on this, and I've used a self-heating battery in my own vehicle, which is held in an external compartment, and we'll do a test on it to see how well that has managed over the past 3 winters. And so anyway, we'll do that in a different video. There's another thing I'd like to actually talk to you about as well, and that's the inverter. If you've got a battery and it's connected to an inverter, now the inverter will, my inverter goes to 4 kilowatts. So if I wanted to use, possibly use the kettle and a hairdryer at the same time, in theory it should be able to do it, although in theory, when it's the initial moment that the kettle may be 2 kilowatts, but you do have the initial burst of energy which can be much more than that. So I think that's something which is worth considering. But the thing is like this: if you use the battery in this way by giving massive charges, it will also shorten the life of the battery. Not charges, discharges I should say. So bear that one in mind. Now obviously, for example, the computer now is connected to the inverter, and that I don't think that's going to be damaging the battery very much. It's a small amount of charge going out of it. I mean, if you're using charging your telephones or something from it, then it's going to make no difference. It's things that take a lot, like hair dryers and the likes, or kettles and things, which can actually have some effect on it. Okay, thanks very much for listening. I'll do more videos like this because these are questions that actually do come up a lot. So the answer to this one, should you leave it charged? I think the answer is yes. Leave the CE one plugged when the vehicle's not in use, but unplug it from time to time. There's the short answer. Thanks for watching. All the best from me, and bye for now.